Alright guys, so this is a close-up of the tools that we use to remove the fans. Part number 9827. You can get this from Porsche dealership. I think maybe Volkswagen too. And the bottom of it looks like this. Alright, just to show you how it works. Basically, you insert this one. I'm going to show you this one instead. It's easier to show you. So basically, insert this one into there. And then it should show up in this hole right here. Basically, you just turn, grab the hook, and turn. That's how it works. You see it? And once you grab it, and then you can pull this side, and then get it back out. And then on the other side, you got one of those also. Same thing. You just insert it. It come out from that hole there, and then grab this. When you grab both of them, then you can pull the whole thing out. Basically, that's it. Oh, by the way, one more thing I want to mention is that all these rubber sleeves, there are 1, 2, 3 of them. There's none at the bottom. Same thing for this side. This is the driver's side. It's 1, 2. That's a small one here, and 3. Make sure you don't lose any of those, because otherwise the car will rattle when you drive. It's not funny. So our first step is to remove the vents. So the first step is to remove the vent. To do that, you have to have the special tool, like this one. It's a 9827. And it should be very easy to get out. Once it's out, you unplug the control, and that's it. You unplug from here. Same procedure on the other side. I'm looking for the hole where they can go in and grab the hook. Roughly about 4 to 5 pounds of force on the top side of pulling, and bottom is less than 1 pound. And again, unplug it. All right, vans are out. Once the vans are out, next thing we need to work on these 4 screws here. So to take off these 4 screws, the best tool is, the tool size is going to be T27. This is a T27, and it's an exact fit. So I'm gonna assemble my little T27 tool, and it apart. Make sure you store the screws. Don't lose them. Otherwise, it's going. If you don't have all of them, the radio is going to rattle when you drive, and that's not going to be funny. All right. The next step, we're going to remove the gear shifter. So get a wrench, just a little bit oversized, and it doesn't have to be tight. It just needs to be loose. And be careful, be very gentle, because you don't want to scratch anything. Just turn a little bit, and then you can do the rest by hand. We just need to use that to get it started. Once it turns, and then use two hands and keep control, pull, and to get it out. Then the next thing is you cover this whole area up with cloth. Now we are ready to pull the whole radio out. Again, just very gently. Once you pull it out, make sure it doesn't scratch anything. You can rest it on the side here. Just make sure it's not resting on anything that can scratch. And that's it, and all 5 of them are disconnected. Now all 5 and 6 connectors actually. 5 antenna style connectors and 1 big rectangular one. And then now it's all disconnected. And we are free to take the radio out of the car now. About these connectors, one thing I do want to mention is that for American models like ours, there are 2 fiber optic connectors right here, and it's on the back side. You can see that it's orange. Basically, you can insert a small screwdriver right below it and open it, and then you'll be able to get the 2 fiber optic connectors out. And then we have to, the pass-through does not have connector for fiber optic, so you have to take this 2 out and then connect to the new connector that we're going to use. All right, the next step is to take it apart. This time I'm choosing to use a T8. T8 is the size of the screwdriver we're going to use. So there are 7 screws that we need to remove. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, so let me go ahead and get started. By the way, the top two screws are right here. They are longer screws. And the back three are also longer screws. You'll see that the bottom two are the short ones. And while we're here, I'm going to tell you that we're going to have to loosen this one by a lot, or maybe remove it later on, put it back on, but very loose. All right, let's get to the bottom two. You can see that these are actually shorter. I'm going to show you later on. Right here, you see these are the bottom screws, and it's shorter than the other 5 screws. You see that? All right, so make sure the bottom two, you identify those are the 2 short screws. All right, after that, we're gonna open it. The way we open it is you have to put a screwdriver or something into here, and simultaneously on the other side, same place, here and here. Once you push them in, then you'll be able to flip it out this way. Okay, this side, just leave it alone. So we're gonna turn it upside down, and then push in the 2 sides, and then open it. Okay, I'm gonna try to do it with the camera running. Then, without pushing it back in, I'm gonna do this side. Okay, you can feel it coming loose now, and the whole thing is loose. So, kind of like opening a crab. And you can see that. Now, I'm gonna need a pick, and then pull those 2 little things up, and then we'll be able to disconnect the ribbon cables. Now those are real fragile, so I'm going to turn it this way. So I'm going to use a small screwdriver here. Lift it up, and same thing on this side. Maybe a little bit longer screwdriver here. Be very careful, don't damage the cable. All right, it's loose now. And then do the same thing to the bottom side. Should be loose by now. And now it's apart. So just to show you how this thing works, it's like one of those that it flips up and you pull it out, and then it can flip a little bit. Pull it out, just flip a little bit. But when it closes and then you push it in, it locks the cable in place. So that's one of those. It's easier if you pull it out with a screwdriver. Later on when we lock, we're just gonna push these two back in. It's gonna be a real tight space, so just be very gentle. And if you look at this side of the cable, you can see those little notches in there. And those notches is what's locking it in place. Now, the next part, we're gonna have to take this box and open it into two. And you can see a tape here. This tape will be destroyed, so you can just slice it open. I tried to take it off one time before, and it's just as bad as just slicing it, so might as well. Well, there's no way to preserve it anyway. Alright, then next you slide this top part to the back. Make sure that these 3 screws are removed, 1, 2, and 3. Once they are removed, then all you need to do is just slide it to the back. You give a little push here. Just try to do it evenly on both sides. Okay. And it will help if you it helps if you remove this little plastic things first. Not by a lot, but at least just a little bit. So. Okay. You see those 2 little hooks there, and that's where I push in to remove it. For this one, there's one on top here. And there's one more here. And there's one more at the bottom side of it. Maybe it's easier this way. Yep, all right, so same thing. Little hooks there, and this is how it works. This is how it goes. And take those off. Okay, very gently. And then that may help a little bit. Let's try again. Okay. Don't pry, just use your hand. Don't pry anything. If you pry, it may damage something. So just be patient. Do little by little, eventually you'll get to it. And it helps if you slice here also. Slice here. Just get the tape out of the way. Okay, after a little bit of struggle, finally got it to here. And if you look at the other side, it's like almost there, almost there. Just be very patient. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, if you look at it here, it's not quite, this thing needs to line up there before you're able to open it. Okay, so just a little bit more encouragement, almost there. Let's see the other side, almost there. Oh yeah, the sticker is just not helping at all, so let's peel it off. if you can use some rubbing alcohol to remove the tape first, I believe it probably will make it much easier. But we'll try that next time. Make sure you don't cut your hand. That's very important. Safety first. You don't cut yourself. All right, that's good. Okay, this side is good too. You can see that this is lined up with that little opening there. Is almost to the end of it. And this is almost to the end of it also. So you can lift the thing straight up. But again, be very gentle. Yeah. Okay, I got one side open. And the other side, lift it up. All right, we got it. Now, when you open, be very gentle. You see that? Don't break that cable. Don't break that cable. All right. Remove this cable. We're done with this side. All right. Here's the next part. So next part, we're gonna remove this one first, just to make room. Push it down and wiggle it a little bit. Push down this little thing. Wiggle, wiggle. Almost there. Okay, it's out. All right. Take that, move that out of the way first. No. Same screwdriver. Take these 4 screws out. Now notice that I'm not taking all 4 of them out at the same time. And we're gonna only take 3 of them out. And I'm leaving 1 in there. The other 3, I'm gonna put something else in there. All right, next I'm gonna install the standoffs right here that's provided as part of the kit. Now for installers, I recommend getting one of these socket type screwdriver. The size of it, let's see, .3/16. This is a 3/16, and it fits like that perfectly. All right, so I'm going to install it on 3 of them. Now make sure you don't do it too tight. Okay, 1, just finger tight, not even thumb tight. 2, 3, make sure you push this all the way in before you turn, because if you strip the screw, then it will be very hard to remove later on. Four. All right, now the next part, we are going to remove this screw right here, and then basically we need some room there. Okay, now hold on to this one. It's about the same size of all of them, but on to this one. So this one is basically you flip it forward, and then you can slide it out. So it's basically flip it this way and then can pull it out, and then you have room here. All right. So the next part, we're going to try to fit this piece through this hole right here. It's kind of tight, but it will fit. All right, so this is part of the kit. And don't lose any of the screws. Now the way it works is you have to squeeze it down like so. Make sure you don't break any of the wires. And make sure it's very gently push this through the hole there. Okay. And it's a tight fit, but it will fit, like I said. Just make sure you take your time to do this, and don't let any of the cable break. You break one cable, the display will not work anymore. Okay. Need to be really flat. Maybe try the other side. It's a tight fit. It's very tight, but it will fit. All right, it looks like it's in. Yep, it's in. All right, that's how much you want to leave in there. Okay, and then slowly slide this back through here, and then we're just going to leave it like that for now. Now, you can carefully route this so it's not interfering with anything, and then plug it back in. I think this is kind of tight here. It may not work. Yeah, it's pretty around. This one is better. All right, as you can see, it's routed around that stud there, and push it in all the way, snug fit, and we're done. Okay, this is pretty better on this side. Yep, it's better on this side. Okay, now this is how it's going to work. Okay, and you don't ever have to remove this. Now the next thing is look at the routing of the cable. Is routing through here at the bottom and out. It may not be that easy later on, but I'm gonna show you how it works. Okay, same thing, pull this two out and then get it out. Same thing like the other side, it's got a notch on it. Now we're gonna save these two cables. We're not gonna use them, but we're gonna save them, because just in case in the future we have to go backwards and retrofit some new technology. We never know. All right, and save these two. Well, the next part, we're gonna have to open this bag here. There are 4 cables inside and a circuit board. All right, circuit board, basically it needs to fit right here on top, and this plug will plug into here. All right, so basically that's how we're gonna have to make it work. Okay, and make sure this cables are very well protected and don't get pinched. And then so we're gonna insert those cables in there. Now which one goes where? I'm gonna give you the directions. The two black ones are going in this way, always blue on top. The black ones go this way and this way. And then after that, they're gonna route outside. The two white ones, they're gonna go inside. The top one here and there. Actually, this side here. Now you notice that there are two ends. One end has a little cut here. That's for the factory radio parts. This side is smooth. Smooth side always go onto this board, okay? Don't mix that up, otherwise it will not lock. Okay, I'm just gonna do the first fill here, and then just gonna do it off camera. Okay, now to open this one, you flip it up, insert the smooth edge into there. Now, the first time it's going to be not so easy to insert, but it will work. Make sure you do it slowly and carefully and don't break it. Flip down. It's tight. Next one. Alright, next one. Always do the big one first because that's going to be at the bottom. Not this side. Yeah, the smooth side. Make sure it's all the way in. And then lock it. Open. Push it all the way in. All right, now this piece is ready. And then here's one of the two hardest part, is to insert this into there and lock it. Okay, you feel that it's all the way in, and then I'll push it down. You can use a little screwdriver to help. Push one side down and the other side down. And you go back to the first side just to make sure that it's locked. Okay, it's properly locked on both ends. Okay, once it's snug, then you do the next cable, same thing. then we're going to do the DVD cable. DVD cable is going to be tricky again. The DVD cable is the trickiest of all because sometimes if you don't install it properly, then suddenly the DVD don't work. Most people don't really play DVDs or CDs anymore, but I did have one customer who later on decided that he wants to play DVD and found out that it's not working. So needless to say, we opened it up again. And after a little bit of adjustment, then it started working again. All right, now this two, basically you feed it through the same hole that we once had it in the beginning. Same way like before. And that's it. We're almost done here. Almost done. So we need this 4 screws back again. The 4 screws that were originally on the radio module now needs to come to here. Now there's a reason why I do this one in this order is because you see that cable? The cable is actually going on top of the screw, so that's why I do it in this order. Just don't tighten them yet. This one I can tighten a little bit, but still movable. This one. Okay, make some final adjustment. Make sure that nothing is catching. Tighten these two first. Again, not too tight. Just finger tight is good enough. Okay. All right. So now let's plug this one in. And after that, all you need to do is just close this back up, and then we're done. All right, once we have this stacked together, then the next thing is to put it back together slowly, just like before. Just reverse the process. Just push it in just little bit by little bit. Don't rush this. There's no need to rush, right? Make sure you don't break anything. Here, click there, click here. All right, so if you look at this side, a lot is sticking out, which makes it easier for us to put it in. If you look at this side, this guy is loose here, and we're gonna put a screw here just to hold it in place, but not tight, okay? We don't want it tight because there are cables here we're talking about. That screw is right here. This is the same screw we took off before. I'll just line up with the hole. This time we don't need to really tighten it or anything. Just, you know, leave it there, leave it hang there, and as long as like snug, it's okay. Make sure that it's not gonna fall off. That's all we want. You know, we don't really need it to be tight because we don't want to damage the cable or anything. Okay, all right, now for this side, so this time we have a lot more room to work with, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna do it slowly and carefully this time. We got a lot more room, so it's much easier. Same thing here. Now be careful with this capacitor. Don't break it. If you break it, that's big trouble. I don't know how to fix that. All right, so open it. And insert that. Okay, it's in place. And all you need to do is just to clip it down. Just don't break the capacitor. All right, one's in, one to go. Okay, you can hear the click, and then push this in. All right. Now, be very gentle. If you look closer, there are actually two hooks here, one here, one here. And if you look at the underside of it, there are two holes there. They're supposed to line up, and then there we go. You can feel the click there. And then kind of slowly. This is an angle. I turn to this angle so you can see how I push it in. All right, we hear a click. So if you look through the side here, you can see the cable in there. All right, so reverse the process. And remember the bottom side, use the two short screws. And for these screws, make sure you don't strip them. And the only way to make sure that you don't strip them is to do this. Instead of using a big screwdriver, you want to use a very thin one. Okay, and instead of using a big screwdriver, pull out this one. And by doing this, you won't have a lot of torque. And by not having a lot of torque, you're not going to be able to strip the screw. If it doesn't go in easily, you just move it a little bit to tweak, tweak a little bit, make sure it's finger tight. If it's not finger tight, then you don't force it, because all these things are aluminum, so they should not be very tight. get the short one. Where's the short one? Right here. This is the short one. Okay, because we're doing the bottom side, is only the short ones for now. Right here. Okay, should be able to go in without much effort. If there's any effort at all, stop, because it's not lined up perfectly. All right, and then those 3. Now the remaining 5 screws are about this. They are exactly the same length, so it doesn't matter anymore. All right, goes in easily. There's one. If it doesn't go in easily, then you back it out all the way, and then let's try again. It should go in easily. You know, you should not have to use force. I'm pulling this in a little bit, because remember I said you should not have to turn it, but it was hard to turn, so I just, instead of forcing it in, I readjust the hole so that it's smooth again. All right, now I can use the screwdriver and tighten all the screws just a hair. Okay, remember all these are aluminum, so no more than 5 Newton meters. As a matter of fact, I only use about, I would say about 2 Newton meters, and that's it. Okay, no more than 2, because I don't want to damage anything. There's no point. It's not going to go anywhere. All right, and finally, there's a little bit on this one, and there's no need for this to be tight at all. Just snug, it's okay. All right, so with that said, the head unit side is pretty much done. Now, remember I had these 2 cables that I told you I want to save. And there's a place to save this. And this thing here, if you look at it, this is where the cell phone module is going to be stored at. And in United States, we basically don't use this at all. So because of this right here is basically empty. So we're gonna use this slot as our storage. Okay, so let's cut it open and get a little encouragement here to open it. Open it. All right, we're gonna store the cables in here. It'll be safe, and nobody is going to pull it out and mess with it. All right, and won't get heat up or anything. So it's a pretty safe place to store it. And this is it. That's it for the head unit. Oh, don't forget. We're going to put all these plastic pieces back. All right. Same thing for this side. Maybe pull the cable to the other side. Yeah, leave the cable like so. And let's see, should go in without a problem. All right. All right, so it's hanging out here. All right, leave the cable here, and that's it. This is it for the front end unit. Now make sure. All right, the next part of the install, we're gonna have to use this cable now. This cable is a male to female connector that connects to the back of the radio. So the first step we're going to, if you look closely, this is the end that is going to plug into this plug here, and this end is going to plug into the radio. Now, if you look closer, this end doesn't have the fiber optic in there, so we need to transfer these two fiber optic. We need to transfer these two into here. So the way you get it out is to use a small screwdriver and kind of pry it up just a little bit, and then the fiber optic should be able to slide out very easily. Let me see if I can show it on the camera so you can see how it works. Pry it up a little bit to release get it off the hook. And once it's off the hook, then it becomes easier to slide out. Try to do it on the camera so you can see. And be very gentle because it's fiber optic. It cannot have a kink inside, otherwise it'll break. Okay, here we go. Now we got it out. And then it's not going to be that easy, so we have to cut the tape here, cut off the tape to make some more room for it to roam around a little bit more. All right. And be careful when you cut the tape. Make sure you don't cut the cable. Okay. Be very careful. Look at where you're cutting. Make sure you don't cut any of the cables. One cut in the cable is going to be a major disaster. Alright, get some tape off, and then now it's got a lot more room to play with. And if this is not enough, then you can actually cut off more here. I do cut off more. Alright, let me stop the video and we'll resume when I got it cut. Alright, I did cut off more tape, if you can see here. Basically free up the fiber optic a little bit more so I can work with it a lot easier. You'll notice that all the other cables are still hiding back here, which later on we're going to plug it in back to the back of the radio. Now it's time to transfer these two back into this plug here. It only fits one way, so don't worry that you can plug it in wrong. It's impossible. Alright, once it goes in, it's very easy here to click, that's good. And then we can squeeze this and flip it open. Yep, just like that, to prepare for the engagement. Now for this side, all you need to do is just, for this side, you just need to plug it in here. Yep. Plug it in. Once you got a positive engagement, just lock it. You're done. Alright, so this side is ready. Now let's untangle this. Alright, then this wire here, this side and this side, there's two plugs here. One goes into the back of the unit. This one is your microphone jack. Alright, so for now, let's go ahead and put it inside the glove compartment. Some other cars, I would do it under the kick panel on the passenger side. For this one, for now, I'm going to put it inside the glove compartment. So with the vent open and this top piece, I pried it off, and then the cup holder is very easy. Basically insert a screwdriver here, and the same thing on the other side. You can see the notch. Once you pry it open, I'm going to show you in another video, but once you pry it open, insert a screwdriver here and there, the whole thing slides out, and then now you have access through there into the glove compartment. And I'm going to do that. Alright, so I'm going to feed this cable. Here. You don't have to put it in the glove compartment. It's just for this car, I'm just going to put it in the glove compartment. But there are many places that you can hide this. Okay. All right, so that's it for this cable. Just hide it in the back there. These 3 antennas. Put it here for standby. These 2 are standby. All these will go in the back there, and this one will plug back into the radio. That's our next step. Alright, going back a little bit, I'm going to show you how to release this cup holder. So there are two places here. Basically, there's a release down here. You push it down, and that side, same thing. You push it down like so, and then the whole thing will come out. And for the top part, it's even easier. You see all these little pins? That's all it uses to snap this in place. So basically, just a simple pry tool will make it come out. Just make sure that you pull it out horizontally, not like this or like this, but horizontally. Now, just for reference, I found a path, and I do this same as my car. Same in my car. I found a path that feeds the cables down here, and if you look closer, yeah, it's a pretty big opening, so you can squeeze everything through that path, and all the cables connect to here. And then later on, when you put the cover back on, it will just hide up here, and directly above it is going to be a cabin air filter. So that's got enough room. I'll show you after I'm done. All right, so I finished hiding it, and it fits directly above this here, right underneath, right above here. That's where the box is. You can't see it. It's a perfect fit. And it's got enough room there. See, it's flush. And I routed the USB cable underneath here, and that's where I would connect my phone if I have to. All right, and that's it. That completes the installation. I just need to pop all these back in. That completes the installation of the CarPlay. And this is a view of everything snapped in. Bottom, everywhere looks perfect, and CarPlay is ready to activate. All you need to do is just turn on the radio and push and hold it down. Now you got CarPlay. And then next thing is to pair this with your phone, and that's it.